Hey kids, and welcome back to the video channel that loves you the most. Actually, I don't love you. I'm not even sure I like you, but I'm willing to meet you halfway, maybe. Anyway, so been talking movies and particular movies that kind of hammer home with me on one level or another, and we're going to talk a big hammer this time out. So, a couple weeks ago, I did one on a couple or 3 weeks ago, 4 or 5, I don't know, whatever it was. Time becomes kind of blurry after a while to me. I had mentioned back around the time my family lived in Europe for about a year. And we would watch these movies late at night, and they were, shown in their original languages with, French subtitles. And a lot of them were American. There was one movie I forgot to mention, and it's a movie that's become a favorite of mine over the years. And this is none other than Kiss Me Deadly from 1955. Yeah, so we saw this one night, staying in France and living in France. But we watched this. I had no idea what it was. I had no idea anything about it. Something about Mickey Spillane, and I was aware of the name. I think at that time he was doing beer commercials in the U.S. And, he was obviously doing like hard-boiled detective novels. But this was a film by Robert Aldrich, kind of a permutation of Mickey Spillane's book. We'll get more to that in a few minutes. And featured Ralph Meeker as his hero detective Mike Hammer, who is just driving down the street one night and gets stopped by this beautiful woman running out in the road, and he basically is taking her wherever she goes. They get stopped by a bunch of guys who beat him down. He kind of mildly wakes up and sees her. Yeah, she's played by Cloris Leachman, by the way, who you might remember playing an old lady actress. I think she did that show Raising Hope that was fairly funny. You might remember as Mary Tyler Moore's frenemy Phyllis on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And funny actress, fun actress. Led to believe she had some kind of a career in beauty pageants, but she is not in the movie long, as he kind of vaguely comes out of unconsciousness to witness her being tortured and killed, and then he conks out again. Never sees any of the perpetrators. But he basically is plunged headlong into this almost kind of like quasi-revenge kind of plot line, trying to figure out what that was all about, and why he happened to get in there and whatnot. But it follows a long twisted path, and it goes to insane places that are like basically nothing like anything you ever saw. Just anything you imagined, any place you imagined it would go. This is not your standard like hard-boiled detective novel. It goes way over the edge, and next thing you know, you got Mike Hammer running around town. Many of the people he knows or the people associated with the case are turning up dead, and he's frantically trying to figure out the truth and beating the living snot out of anyone who stands in his way. the one thing I distinctly remember about sitting there watching this with my family is my mother sitting next to me and continually shaking her head and saying, I don't think I like Mike Hammer. I don't think I like Mike Hammer. Just as I do not like Mike Hammer. And I was just like, Mom, let's just watch the movie, okay? And, but, so, of course, you know, I had to pick that damn thing up on Criterion. Yeah, we had to. Yeah, that was, I believe, gifted to me as ever by, you know, the lovely Mondo Heather. And that was just, she is my connection in a lot of ways. But yeah, I love this fucking movie. Ralph, yeah, well, first of all, I'm going to go into some of the production details. Robert Aldrich and uncredited screenwriter, but co-credited with AI Bezarides. I'm probably mispronouncing that name. Suffice to say that they read the source material and they didn't like Mike Hammer. They didn't like Mike Hammer. They did not like Mickey Spillane. They did not like that book. And Mickey Spillane hated this movie. Mike Hammer is basically your standard kind of a low-key, kind of brutish, misogynistic thug, you know, who's a private eye. So they turned this around, turned it into kind of a Cold War paranoia story, which is way out of Spillane's element. And they do the mitzvah to all of us by casting Ralph Meeker as the lead actor. Ralph Meeker is Mickey Spillane, or Mike Hammer, and goddamn, he is brilliant in this thing. All I can say is, yeah, they take this kind of brutal, ugly, nasty, vicious, misogynistic, just punk-ass detective, and they make him 5 times worse. I mean, he is a nasty piece of work. He goes up, you know, there's one scene where he's talking to the member, to the desk man at this, like, highfalutin kind of members-only health club, and when he doesn't get the answer he wants, he just bitch slaps him all over the place. And he does that a lot in this movie. He puts the hurt on folks. There's one scene where they're confronting this one guy, and he finally decides he's going to get the drop on Mike Hammer, and he's got a gun in that drawer. He's reaching his hand to that drawer. They catch it happening, and Mike Hammer slams his fingers into that drawer and just keeps slamming it. And he has this vicious look on his face. He's hurting this guy, and he likes hurting him. And yeah, that's I found myself liking Mike Hammer. But that notwithstanding, I don't know, just he's a scumbag. He's a nasty scumbag of a detective who's basically everyone around him ends up dead. And he's got this kind of sexy secretary named Velda, and Velda is there's kind of a sexual chemistry between them. They're obviously not an exclusive pair or anything like that. You know, Hammer will sleep around or whatever, and and maybe she does the same. But you know, the one redeeming quality of my camera is I do get the feeling on some level he does actually care about Velda. And yeah, in the end, yeah, they got this big thing where there's this MacGuffin, this kind of box. If you have ever seen, because you've probably seen Pulp Fiction, and you'll see where Tarantino took this, because, you know, if you know Tarantino like I know Tarantino, he rips off the best. They've got this box, and finally when it comes to opening, everything is supposed to be tied into this box, and it's a weapon. And finally this foolish, treacherous girl who is kind of figurative in the movie finally kills everyone in her way and gets the box open, and this light comes out of it. And it's like, wow, it's kind of like that suitcase in Pulp Fiction. It's what many of you may be thinking. Yeah, that's where they got it. And all I can say is, yes, the big thing everyone wants to get a hold of in this movie is a weapon, and it's probably an atomic weapon. And the very last thing you see is, Velda's being held captive. Mike Hammer stumbles through the house and gets her and saves her, and, you know, they go running out of the house, and they go running down along the beach, and you see the whole house getting obliterated. And there are a couple of different cuts of that, a couple of different shots of that. There are shots where you see the house getting blown up, and they're in the water, just kind of looking like and that's the end of the movie. And there are shots where there are other cuts where you see it, and it looks like everything is being obliterated. So the speculation goes back and forth. Okay, so is it just the house being destroyed, or is it the world being destroyed? And it's what they refer to in Doctor Strangelove, the Doomsday Shroud. Maybe, I don't know, but I think the thing that just the speculation goes on that. And I guess at the final thing, okay, so is this the all-purpose nuclear bedtime story? And Mike Hammer, is there to witness the destruction of the world, or get consumed in it, or did whatever they had just end up blowing up the house? And I personally like to think it just blew up the house. Yeah, it's just kind of my sunny take on it. And it just, I like to think basically Mike and Velda ran out of this house, ran into the water, watched the house blow to smithereens, saw something really awful, and then went the hell home without answering any questions. That's kind of my optimistic view on things. But yeah, this is not necessarily, I don't know, people would drop this under the label of noir. I think it's just too damn weird to be seen as a noir. I think it's almost like a kind of a pseudo-noir or a mid-noir deviation into insanity. But a big favorite of mine, Kiss Me Deadly. It's just for the knockdown, drag-out nihilism. I love this thing. Anyway, check it out if you get a chance.